Hey, this is Dr. Pam Perry, Speakers Magazine Show. Hey there. So, welcome to Speakers Magazine. Our guest today is none other than Betty Hines. There you go. She is part
Hi.
of the Woo crew. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm going to put this up right away so that people will know to go to woocrew.com because if they don't know, now they're going to know. Okay.
Great.
So Woo Crew stands for Women Elevating Women. And that is what Betty is about. She has a fabulous event coming up. We're going to talk about her honorees, but I really want you to really get to know Betty a little bit more besides her event and the honorees that she has. So, Betty, what made you become the founder of the Woo Crew, Women Elevating Women? And then give us a little tidbit of what led up to it.
Thank you so much for asking that question because I love to share the story and the journey because you got the story and you got the journey in getting there. So I have worked with women entrepreneurs for over 30 years. And I've always worked with those entrepreneurs who were like $1 million, 100 million, and I had a few billionaires in the group as well. And so those lessons learned is that, okay, they're there. And at the time that I joined or start working with them, there might have been 4.3, about 4%, barely 4% at that level. Post-COVID, we're about 2.3%, a huge percentage point down. So there is a group of women that still want to achieve and excel because they believe in their passion and their purpose that are at six figures. And so I decided, let's take the knowledge and skills that you have in facilitating and in grooming and elevating women at that higher level and transfer that knowledge to those women who are at six figures because they're kind of stuck. And they're stuck because they don't have the access to the information, the resources. They don't have those connections like you and I, Pam. They don't have those connections and introductions to each other. So this is why it became my passion. And coupled with, because it's not just entrepreneurs, it's women who are executives coming out of C-suite space. That's where I started in corporate America. If you're running an operation and you're generating in your salary plus bonuses 6+ figures, you basically got a mini P&L. I mean, you got a small business unit that you're running. And in the back of your mind, you're always thinking like, I'm working these long hours for ABC company. I could do this on my own. And that's where I was many years ago, over 2 decades ago. I said, let's give it a shot.
And you were in a field that wasn't traditional for women. Is it financial
No.
services?
Yeah, I was in underwriting. They did not have underwriting people of color in that field. So back in '76, was brought on, out of college and became in underwriting, and we were scarce and few. Believe me, scarce and few. And so because they wanted to put us into the sales, they didn't want us to have anything to do that impacted profits. So here I was as a underwriter and moved up the corporate ladder. I was very blessed and had some great mentors that helped me along the way. And so at that point in time, when I left, is in the back of my mind when I was in corporate headquarters. And what I will say, back then, for women to elevate or scale in the corporate America, we had to be what they called mobile. And that meant we had to relocate. They tested us, particularly if we had children. They would say, are you mobile? And the answer was always yes. So I would say corporately, between temporary, they called them temporary duty assignments and physical moves, close to a dozen. Probably why the first marriage didn't last. But
right. I mean, that is crazy. That's almost worse than a military spouse. Right.
Well, I'm an Army brat, so it wasn't that I wasn't accustomed to those kind of, up and move, but still. So I'm a military brat. My kids are considered corporate brats. Okay. But back to your question is like, because of that, I've had the opportunity to engage with a lot of people in different states, from West Coast to East Coast, North and South. So was able to glean on all that experience. And I wanted to pass it along to somebody else. And I'll just say this to be quiet. One of my members said something and it just snapped with me. She says, you know what? Because I want to share my knowledge. She says, you know what? You will never be that auntie who takes that favorite sweet potato pie recipe to her grave. And that was both of us. She said, you'll never. And I listened to her. She said,
You
because you share it. She said,
you
because
share.
what you have learned, and she really coined it for me. What you have learned is that if you take, and we all had them family members got the best macaroni and cheese, you
Mhm.
know, make
And
the
they're
best
gonna take
apple. We know, and they not, or banana pudding or lemon meringue pie, particularly coming out,
brownies.
they not gonna share it, and they take it to their grave. But
Mhm.
the challenge with that, as a culture, when they take it to the grave, that's when the legacy stops. And
Mm.
I refuse to be that person. Is to not
Mhm.
share the information, the connection, because your legacy is when you pass the information on to others. You can't
Mhm.
do a legacy from the grave. And so all that is why we decided, hey, it's time to launch Women Elevating Women.
Women elevating women, women that are trailblazers in their industries, people who basically are always maybe in the boardrooms or in the suites or
Yeah.
in those companies, and they are feeling alone and lonely because they're like one of the few. And so Women Elevating Women was that one organization to help women to break past that six figure going to the seven figure. And
Absolutely.
that's really a good niche, I guess you would say, because
And
there's
thank
so
you for
many
being a
women.
member.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. That was like one of the main things when Sharon Morton said, hey, Black Door Society, which we're the sister
Yes, yes.
organization to WU.
Partner.
Yes, we're
Proud
partners
partner.
together. And we were like, okay, we're going to make sure that women who are in Black Door Society are also members and have an opportunity to be in WU. And it was like, that was it. I want to say that the event that you were on the cover of September last year and we were in,
Yes,
and
yes.
that was so good. That conference was so well put together, and the women there were so friendly. And I could say that a lot of women that I met last year, some of them have became clients.
Oh,
There have been,
wonderful.
yes, have become
Wonderful.
contacts, and we keep in touch.
Great.
Those are
Well,
some of,
let's you were very instrumental in helping us curate that program. And I forgot the title of it, but it was like the book, the book's lane. I forgot what we called it. And so we were able to take those who were involved in having a
yes,
book. Remember, we did a whole session where they
hmm,
spoke about their book, and then we had
yes,
reception. We had people have opportunity to speak about what they do, because
yes.
we don't talk about what women do, and we do write books.
Yes, and that was one of the things. Yamilka had a book, Deborah
Yep.
Owens had a book.
Yeah.
I wanna say there was a young lady, she gave us a book, and it was so cute. It was in a
I
black
know
package.
Nicole Parker.
Yes,
Well,
Nicole
Nicole
Parker
Parker
had a book.
is
I was
Miss.
like, she is
Yeah,
putting it together.
yes, Nicole
And what
Parker.
the thing is, we wouldn't have and Betty, I have to give this to you. We wouldn't have met if it wasn't for you to want to bring everybody together, to bring that crew together, the Woo crew,
And you
because
know what? I
we
can't
wouldn't have
take.
met.
We also give shout out to Sharon Morton, because
Yes,
we met at at an event, and we had an introduction, and we
I think it
connected.
was the Chase event.
Taste it was.
Yes.
Thank you. It was one of our woo conferences in the DC area, and Chase hosted a reception, and she was a client, and they brought her there, and we just connected, and we said, hey, look, how can we collaborate?
Mhm.
And
That is it.
it's been a great partnership, and we're just very happy.
And also too, one of the things I think that is you're busting the fallacy that women can't work together, that women compete, and your pillars. If you could explain your pillars of your
Sure.
the C's, and one
Yes.
of them is collaboration. So I kind of gave that one away,
Yeah.
but
No, no problem. Based off my experience and being in this as an executive, C-suite executive, and as an entrepreneur, I took the characteristics of successful executives and entrepreneurs and put them together. And those are the characteristics or the tenets of what we consider successful women. And one of them is, we've already talked about, is collaborate. You will find successful
mhm,
women know how to collaborate. And what we try to impart is that women, you don't have to do it alone. Why not learn how to, don't start competing. Let's learn how to complete each other and collaborate.
ah, I
And
like
so the other one that we have is called courage. And when we talk about courage, yes, we want you to be big and strong, but we talk about courage to take care of your wealth, both your personal and your financial, and your health, both your
mhm,
mental and your physical. And that really was elevated after COVID. Women, and
mhm,
you know this, when COVID hit, women, be them an executive, an entrepreneur, or just everyday or housewife, they found themselves doing more, because, like, for me, I don't mind, I might have adults, but I was thinking about I'm facilitating these women entrepreneurs, and they're running multi-million-dollar businesses, and now they find they can't have that person coming in cleaning their house. They can't have that person coming in and help preparing with meals, or they can't have that tutor coming in and helping their student, their child with their homework.
Whew.
But they found they not only were the housekeeper, they were also fixing meals, and they were also becoming a teacher.
Cutting the
So
grass if they had to.
you know that's the truth, and so that really affected us mentally, and we we compartmentalize a lot of that anguish. So we're still feeling, even today, though it was under control, the remnants of having that mental state. So anyway, my story,
Mhm.
but it's the mental health as well as the physical health. And
I
then the
like
other,
the session that you did last year when you had Dr. Angela, and it was a lady from Arizona. I can't remember her
yeah,
name exact, but she was a doctor as well, and
yeah,
she
she
talked
was a
about
woman's
mental
health
health.
doctor,
That room
Dr.
was
Scholes.
Yes, that room
Mhm,
was packed to the hilt. Okay. There
mhm.
were so many women in that particular one. I think it was just as many people in there as
Yeah,
when you had Stacey
Adriana's, yeah.
Abrams, as when you had
Hmm.
Stacey Abrams,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it was really one of those topics where women could let their hair down, really talk
Hmm.
about what was going on, and they felt such a relief and like a sigh that someone else was feeling like they feel. And that's why I
Yes,
I,
you're
I
not doing it alone. People, you both feeling the same thing. It's kind of, oh wow, you feel it too? Yeah.
yeah. That was
Hmm.
good, and even though everybody had on their nice suits or the Brooks Brothers and this and that, and it was like, "No, this is some real talk right here." And that is what you brought together on that particular piece, and I love Stacy too when she came as well. So I'll let you finish
I
the
have
other
two more.
pillars.
I
Yeah.
have two more. The other one that we want to talk about, and this is in your area, and you do a phenomenal job, and that's the communicate pillar. That's branding, and Sharon does a great job as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Branding.
Yes.
We don't brand well, and the thing that I tell the women all the time, you can't be a secret agent.
No.
Well, if they don't
Mm-mm.
engage someone like you to help spotlight them,
Mhm.
because we don't, go ahead, bring it up.
That's what I always tell them. You gotta speak up.
Yeah, you know, so if you don't do it, well, that's okay. That's why you are there. That's why Dr. Pam Perry is there. Learn how to brand not
Promote it.
just your personal brand, but your business brand, because
Yeah,
people won't know who you are if you don't tell them. You
that's
cannot be a secret agent. So we talk about the communicate in terms of branding, who you are and what are your services. And
mhm.
then the last one I want to talk about is that we talk about the connect pillar.
Yes.
It's important to do the connections, those strategic introductions. I met Sharon, Sharon introduced me to you, and so forth.
Mhm.
We don't, as women, we don't do enough of that. Because even if it's not something in your field, you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And you and I both know that once you make that introduction, yeah, in some regards, the person has already been vetted. Now,
Mhm.
they're going to do their own due diligence, but we need to do more of those handoffs like the
Yes.
men do. Do those handoffs, do those strategic introductions. And
Yes.
lastly, we talk about cultivate. You will find all the successful executives and entrepreneurs, they cultivate. Cultivate means they can be on a nonprofit board, but they're always giving back.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
always, and that's what we do. We take the nonprofits and we work with them, and they're giving back. And those are the characteristics, those are the tenets of our foundation, and we call them our pillars to success.
I love that. I love that. That is one of the reasons why the group it has such a structure. So you could tell your background of you're running it like a multi-million dollar organization in terms of all of the structure and then the way the conference goes and flows. It is next level. A lot of our Black Door Society who are also dual members of WU will be there. Sharon, I'm really excited for her because she's one of the honorees this year
She is. She's
for
the
the
honor.
community.
She's also the MC for
Yes,
one of our the event, the Entrepreneur Woman of Impact.
that is that part right there. That always blew my hair back for that the entrepreneur women of impact. So let's talk about the event. I don't know if you can see this right
I,
here in the
I, I
chat.
know it well.
There we go. There we go.
Our
Yes.
speakers,
So
they're dynamic. I have
there we go.
I told you how that I've traveled around across. Our opening keynote is Bershawn Shaw, and she is "You Are Warriors." You know Bershawn?
Mhm.
is just
Yes.
unbelievable motivational speaker.
The warrior
She
coach.
is
That is her.
absolutely phenomenal. And Michelle also has she has a very wonderful story that she has fought cancer twice at a very young
Mhm,
age. And she goes, I'm not going out like this. And I love
mhm.
30 seconds where she talked about like when I would go in for chemo. She said most people come in with their sweats on, bandana. She goes, oh no. I had my stilettos. I was dressed. I had my false eyelashes and make full makeup. And
Yes.
I would go like, I'm ready. You're not taking me out at this young age like this.
She
Phenomenal,
is good. She is
phenomenal
so good.
speaker.
She's gonna be in the magazine in September as well.
Oh,
So
she
she's
is?
in
Okay,
there
great.
and Jade. Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
she's wonderful. And so the next speaker that we have is called Tao, Tal Thompson. I
Mhm.
met him. This is talking about connections. We were both at speaking engagements in Calgary, Canada.
Hmm.
And he's sitting next to me, and this guy, he walks on, and it's a good thing that I'm short and, not an oversized woman. This guy was like 6'8", big man. I'm like, oh, he's sitting next to me? Big man. But he was like teacher of the year, all this. And when you hear his story, we talked the 6 hours all the way to Calgary.
Oh,
He is a big man and he teaches like fourth and fifth graders math.
oh my
And
God.
he works in a very diverse community, and he's all about they they just need encouragement. They need
Mhm.
support. They need cultivation. And he's been on the can't think of her name right now, but he's been on TV. Kelly Ripken and Michael Strahan, where they had a
Yeah.
program together. He's been on
Mhm.
their show, and he's been nominated for many awards as a phenomenal teacher. And then
Wow.
our closing keynote, who you know, this woman is some kind of awesome, and that's Jade Simmons. She's a trained concert pianist. And Jade, I mean, Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, all of that. But she uses that to talk about how to communicate. And she has a
Mhm.
wonderful story where she talks about that, she didn't want to take piano lessons. I think all our parents made us take piano lessons. I don't know if that's in a black family or what, but we all, and how each one of them
Mine
died.
was violin.
Oh, well, I got one. We had that in the family too. We had our own orchestra. There were six of us, but but she talks about how her fortitude and be continuing on, and she takes that messaging about how to show encouragement and how you use the encouragement and that light, that beacon of light on your journey. So I am
Mhm.
thrilled about the speakers that we have. She'll be the closing keynote. We had to get her piano. We did all those things. You will not be disappointed.
Oh my God. So we've got courage. We've
Hmm.
got the
Cultivate with tall.
cultivate, and then definitely closing with the communication. So I
Yes.
love it. I love it. And so you do other awards as well. And who are some of the sponsors this year as well?
Well, we have a lot of our members that are sponsored.
Mhm.
BDS, Sharon Morton, Morton Media, and Black Door Society is a sponsor. JP Morgan Chase.
Yes.
We have, I'm going to forget some. Don't get
But
mad.
JP
Capital
Morgan
One
Chase, I think JP Morgan Chase, they sponsored the Women Entrepreneurial.
of Impact. They do that
Yes,
as well, but they
yes, yes.
also do, because we are recognizing, we are also giving an award to one of, her name is Alicia Wilson, and
Ah,
she manages philanthropy for all of North America. But the
wow.
women the 24 women that we have and the 12 men are very stellar. So you need to go to the website, take a look
Mhm.
at who the honorees are. They're all of North America. So we have people coming in from Africa, as you will know. They're
Yes,
coming in from all over.
they are coming from all over.
And we intentionally keep it small because
Yeah,
you've been to the
we need to connect.
my big sister, the Woman Presidents Organization. They have like close to 900. I think it was 880.
It's
But we
huge.
intentionally keep it small, 100 to 150, because we want you all to take the time to engage in conversation. It's hard to. It was very impactful to have a larger conference, but we want you to be able to engage. So all these high-profile, successful individuals will be at the conference where you can actually walk up into them and do an introduction.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so cool. You really can. That is one of the things that I liked about it. I think Erica Dobbs is a person that
Yes,
I met
she'll be
through the
there. She's a
organization.
sponsor too. She's a
Yes,
sponsor. She's the opening
yes.
reception
I mean,
sponsor.
just so many dynamic people. And then the Tamira was there
She
last
I
year,
was there last year.
and
Mm-hmm.
she gave like
Mm-hmm.
the boxes and things like that, storehouse in a
Mm-hmm.
box, and
Yes.
the whole section that you have I think it was some clothing there, it was a boutique. There were things there that meeting people. Oh, the Pink Fund, Molly, met
Hmm.
Molly as well. Yeah, so she was there as well. But just meeting different people in your what do you call it? The
We,
area where the vendors are,
right.
those tables and things like that, and Speakers
We have a
Magazine.
wonderful ecosystem. People
Yes.
who just support the idea that we're willing and ready to help people soar to the next level.
Hmm. Hmm. And one of the things I want to say that this was something that you helped Sharon with, that she tells all the women in BDS, was her skincare line and the
Oh
connection that
yes,
you made with her so that she can go to Dubai and made the
yes.
connection there with someone there. And actually her brand is selling in Dubai.
Yep.
That is some of the reasons why people should connect with WU, Women
Yes.
Elevating Women. And I always tell people, I said, you never know. You're one connection away to your next level. Now, Sharon had always wanted to do the skincare line, and she was doing it in a way that
Mhm.
she is, just starting and course correcting as she go. But when she met you, you introduced her to someone, and then it actually took off
Mhm.
into the place where it is now. So,
And Pam, as you
one,
will know, sometimes it's all about the encouragement and the
yes,
support.
it is. It really is. It is about the encouragement. I think
Hmm.
about one of the most encouraging person that I had in my career was probably like in about, I want to say like about seventh, eighth grade.
Hmm.
And I come out of elementary school and I was not really, the kid that didn't get good grades or whatever, but I had encouragement from a science and math teacher. And she and for whatever reason I was her teacher's pet. But do you know I
Hmm.
started excelling in science and math. This was a woman that didn't want that had all bad grades, like I get a such and such and a three or whatever. But from that point on, from her encouragement, I was always winning all the science contests and the
Wow.
math because of her encouragement. And then I went on to Cass
Right.
Tech,
Yeah.
and that
It's
kind of
just
thing.
having people believe in you.
Yes,
And I think
yes.
what we do with the BDS and the you being a bull is that you know you have somewhere to go. You have someone to talk to who's been there
Mhm.
and will put their arms around you and say, hey, look, you go head on. I got you. I
Yes,
got you. You can
that
move
is
forward. And
it.
that's all we need.
That
That's
is
not
it.
all we need, but that's a big part of it.
It is. It really is because being an entrepreneur or being in the
Lonely
C-suite
at the top.
can be lonely at the top. So that is like some days it's like, does anybody understand me? Yes. And it's like, Woo got you.
Yeah.
The Woo crew got you. And then I want to give a shout out to Amani and also to all
Let
of
me
your
tell you, I
team.
love my social marketing person. You know, I won the
Yes.
award at the
She
WPO forum,
she
and they
is
said I
the
got the award. I'm
beast.
like, what? And I said, thank you, Imani.
She's a beast. Listen, I saw her working a couple of the events and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? She was not sitting down. She was
And
on the
that's all
move.
about the branding. If you can't do it, get someone who can.
Mhm. Mhm.
Imani she's unbelievable, young lady, and she is
Smart.
all that and more.
She's
Hmm.
smart. And one of our favorite hangout places is LinkedIn. So she is always being creative on LinkedIn. Not so much
She is.
pushy, but just
She
creative, talking
is.
about the
She
honorees,
is.
the testimonials she puts together.
Yes.
Just really good. And then I want to say also to Sandra, the press releases on PR
Oh,
Newswire.
Sandy Arnett.
So
Yes.
you can Google that and
I
find
love
it.
my marketing team.
Yes, yes. And your Milka as well. Your Milka
Yamilka
is,
Rodriguez. Yep.
I
In fact,
call her
Yamilka is doing an interview. She's doing it in Spanish because we have that community as well. Hmm.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, so that is the group that
And you
you
can't
know.
forget our lead graphic designer. All that
Yes,
work. Aaron
Robert.
Piguet. Yep.
Yes, Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah,
We got a
yes,
great
Aaron.
team. Yep.
Aaron does really good at all of the graphics. So and I think is he still in Chicago?
He's in Chicago.
Yeah, I was teasing him. I said Detroit and Chicago, we're like sister cities, so we just
Uh-huh.
kind of had that
Yeah.
thing going on. But yeah, that whole part of that is really what you're showing women that they need to do. Even though they're working in their business, they still need to build the personal brand that they're in. So I
You're
really
right.
appreciate
I
all of
agree.
that.
It's
And
huge.
so are there any things that besides, so we got the keynotes, but you also have sessions in between so they
Yes,
can
we
go to the website and
do.
find out about
They
the
will find
session.
all about it. It has a high
Yeah.
level. We have some dynamite. We'll talk about doing business globally. We're talking about, you will also fireside chat with my advisors, CEO advisors. And if you don't have an advisor, I encourage you to get that.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to have CEO advisors, and I have a council. And then I have the fireside chat with the visionary men.
Oh,
There's about 5
good.
visionary men you have
Oh
the
my God.
conversation with, and
That
then
is
you got to list your little. They'll be talking about, you don't have to like it, but you better know it, and that's the
mhm.
AI and how to protect yourself and using AI within your business.
Yeah.
So we have some dynamic, and Tiana Ligon, who's the CFO COO, she's leading a session on she calls it breaking the CFO code. And that's
Ooh,
like getting a CPAs and CFOs, why that's important. Stop trying to do all that stuff. I
you
stop
can't
trying to
you
do it.
can't be excellent at all the things. Just
Right.
be excellent
Hand it
in the
off.
one thing that you're called to do, and
Yes,
hire the other people who are excellent in that thing. Tiana
absolutely.
is amazing, is
Yes, she is.
amazing. And then I think you have Alicia Little.
Yep.
She's
Yep.
going to do the AI, and then I think Nilda,
Yes.
who's in BDS, she's going to be with her as well,
Oh,
speaking
yes,
at
yes,
the panel.
yes. And the time is yet. She'll be there. We
Yeah.
What I'm very proud of the partnership is that we have quite a few of the BDS people who are panelists.
Hmm.
And we have, and then our other partner, no, Sarah Bacon Fauché. She is also going to be the MC for Sharon is doing the EWI, and Sarah, the no, is doing the WU conference. And
Hmm.
so it's important to have those. And then we're looking to people from a Black Canadian Woman in Action. She'll be
Hmm.
sending some of her people there with it, Sean Lehman.
Yeah.
So it's important. It's important, as I say, you cannot scale. Being
Right.
you got to get outside your zip code, got to get
Hmm.
outside your county, your state, and your country.
And the overall person that's kind of helping putting together the event and where it's going to
It
be.
is
She's
Travel
put.
Dynasty.
Yes.
Travel Dynasty.
Yes.
Laverne, yeah, Travel
Yes.
Dynasty. Yeah,
Yes.
she is doing it. Doing it.
Yes, so she's that. So we want to give a shout. So you have all the different people doing the different things. So I just want to say thank you for doing that. I will be there. Speakers Magazine will be on
Yes.
the scene doing red carpet interviews, or it may not be a red carpet. Maybe I'll bring my own red carpet and
Well,
put it near my booth, and then that's what we'll be doing. We'll put the red carpet near my booth, and we'll do the interview so that we'll actually be
well,
live
thank you
and we'll be
so much.
streaming.
I really
Mhm.
appreciate you.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Betty. This has been good. I will talk with you later. God
And
bless.
shout out to Michigan, our state. We're both from
Ye
Michigan.
yes, yes. So, did you see Big Gretch? She came out there, the DNC
Yes,
thing.
I did. Yes, yes,
I
yes.
was like I was so proud, Michigan. I was like, "Look at Big Gretch."
Yeah,
She said
yeah.
and
I
she
was
said so
proud
funny,
too.
she says, "My name is Gretchen Whitmore, but
But
Detroit
they
calls
call me.
me Big Gretch." I was like, "Really? Only Detroit? I thought everybody did." We fell out laughing. I was like,
It was
"Okay,
lovely.
good, good." But it's a great year for women, and thank you for women elevating women and just giving us that vision and all of the
And thank
pillars, and
you for
you
Speakers
walk the pillars.
Magazine for giving us the voice.
Thank you. That's what we do. That's what we do. So God bless you and take care. All
Thank
right. Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. So the Woo Crew, make sure that you go to woocrew.com. You can find out more information there about the organization. And I am just so excited. Hopefully I will see you there. All righty. So that with that, I'm Pam Perry and I'm out.
This is why you need Speakers Magazine, the ultimate guide to mastering public speaking. Ready to level up your speaking game? Let's dive in. Discover tips, strategies, and success stories from top speakers. Voice your vision with speakers and transform your speaking skills today. Each issue is packed with expert advice and practical techniques. Subscribe today and start your journey to becoming a more effective communicator. Speaker Magazine is your key to success.